terrifying train crash in New Jersey leaves at least 1 dead and over 100 injured. Israel tightens up security in preparation for Shimon Peres's funeral.
I'm incredibly proud of the work that Matt and his team have done in effecting a quick arrest of this gentleman.
And Toronto police make an arrest in connection to multiple sexual assaults in the Yonge and Eglinton area. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Brandon Richard Austin, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. A commuter train has crashed in a station in Hoboken. Reports indicate at least one person has died and more than 100 are injured. The accident happened at 8:30 this morning during rush hour. Witnesses say the train went through the barriers and into the reception area. The accident also caused the metal structure in the station to collapse. Witnesses have reported a loud banging noise at the time of the incident. Officials say the noise could have been the train hitting the barriers. They also say that the trains have a data recorder similar to black boxes on airplanes. Authorities will be using the data recovered to determine the cause of the accident. Protesters have clashed with police for a third night of demonstrations in California. The protests are in response to the shooting of Alfred Olango on Tuesday afternoon. One officer opened fire and another fired a taser when Olango drew something from his pocket and stood in what police describe as a shooter's stance. More than 200 protesters took to the street last night, some carrying signs demanding further mandatory training for police officers. Police reported that they responded to a call that Olango was acting erratically. They released a still image from social media showing that confrontation. However, late yesterday they admitted that the object in Olango's hand was an e-cigarette. This most recent shooting comes less than 2 weeks after similar incidents and protests in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Security is tight today in Jerusalem for the public memorial for former Israeli Prime Minister Shimon Peres. Thousands of security forces have been deployed to ensure tomorrow's state funeral goes smoothly. With so many high-profile people expected to pay their respects, Israeli security says it will be a big challenge. Armed officers have been strategically positioned around the event.
This is one of the largest police operations that are taking place in Jerusalem for the last years, with our police officers looking at close range of everything that is going on.
Former U.S. President Bill Clinton was among the mourners who honored Peres this morning. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is on his way to Jerusalem with a Canadian delegation and will be one of many world leaders at the funeral. Video today from the besieged Syrian city of Aleppo. After drilling through concrete debris, a rescue team saves a 5-year-old girl. Echoes of screaming could be heard as a young girl surfaced from the rubble after 4 hours of drilling. The Syrian Civil Defense Rescue Team was able to pry her free through a gap. Workers say the child was crying out for her father to hold her hand. Visibly distressed and covered in dust, the young girl is carried to an ambulance in the Aleppo's Al-Sha'ar district. The building was hit by an airstrike after a failed ceasefire brokered by the US and Russia. The rescue team says 400 have been killed in airstrikes. The Syrian Civil Defense says the attacks have been carried out by Russia. A Canadian-Iranian woman who spent nearly 4 months in an Iranian jail is home.
It's wonderful to be home and be united with family and friends again.
Homa Hoodfar touched down at the airport in Montreal this morning, greeted by family, friends, supporters, and media. She was accused by Iranian authorities of dabbling in feminism and security matters. Hoodfar was released earlier this week. The 65-year-old retired professor traveled to Iran in February to see family and do academic research. She was arrested in March just before she was to return to Montreal. Hoodfar says the first thing she's going to do, now that she is home, is enjoy what she loves about Montreal.
Just to be with friends and family who are going to be there, and maybe then I walk in my neighborhood a little bit because I miss the summer. I love the summer in Montreal.
Hoodfar says she is going to be staying in Montreal for a while. Toronto police have arrested a man in connection to a series of sexual assaults around Yonge and Eglinton. Ariana Mora de los Reyes has the story.
Good morning. Today at Toronto Police Headquarters, I would like to introduce An arrest has been made on an ongoing Yonge and Eglinton case. 3 teenage girls were allegedly sexually assaulted in the area. During a press conference, Detective Constable of Sex Crime Matthew Pinfold says Francois Lessieur is arrested for several alleged sexual assaults.
We were able to track him backwards to a local business in the area of Yonge and Eglinton. We sought some judicial authorization and ultimately identified him.
Lessieur is a Toronto-based lawyer not known to police. Due to a publication ban, not much is known on the case. However, a bail hearing was conducted and police can't say whether the suspect is out of custody.
If you believe you're the victim of sexual assault, albeit by Mr. Lessieur or someone else, I urge you to contact us at Sex Crimes again. 416-808-7474 is the number.
Police are still looking for more people with information, and there is a court date set for November 3rd. Ariana Morgels Reyes, Humber News.
Canadian author, social activist, and filmmaker Naomi Klein is known for her criticism of climate change and corporate globalization. Yesterday, she brought her message to Humber College. Our reporter Natalie Dixon was there and has the details.
Students, faculty, and community members joined together for the special presentation. They were able to register with the sustainability group at Humber.
I want to have a better perspective from Naomi's view and map it out to what the people in the north are saying.
One of the main issues discussed was concerning the battle between capitalism and climate change.
No, it's important because we live on that planet. We share all the same oxygen and we share the land. So we should be careful with our planet because it's our mother, if I can.
That was Natalie Dixon reporting from the Lakeshore campus. Environmentalists say much of our extreme weather these days is a result of climate change. Chinese officials say more than 30 people are missing after a huge typhoon rocked the country yesterday. Several parts of China are still experiencing heavy rainfall. This is causing landslides and flooding throughout the country. Emergency workers are still searching for survivors and trying to protect homes from further flooding. China has been inundated by typhoons in the past few months, resulting in several hundred deaths. Meanwhile, a wildfire is raging for a third day in Northern California. The blaze has burned through more than 4,000 acres since it started Monday. It started in Santa Clara County, forcing a number of mandatory evacuations. More than 1,000 firefighters have been assigned to the blaze. It's threatened over 300 structures across the fire zone. Some dramatic pictures from China today. The extreme summer heat has turned half of this lake a dark red. It's an annual change that occurs when the number of algae hits tens of thousands. The color will be sticking around a while because this summer was so warm. And some scary video out of Japan today. But don't worry, it's a simulation that shows the destruction that 2 upcoming earthquakes could bring. The video shows Tokyo in rubble after a high magnitude quake. Japan's disaster management team released it to get people to prepare for the worst. Reports estimate a 70% chance Japan could get hit by a magnitude 9 earthquake in the next 30 years. The government says 23,000 people could be killed in the quake. Back at Humber, students marched to take back the night last night at North Campus. Robert Williamson was there and has the details.
Humber students marched through the night in support of sexual consent in an event organized by the college's Center for Human Rights, Equity, and Diversity. The Take Back the Night march focuses on ending sexual, domestic, and relationship violence, an epidemic on college campuses nationwide. For Humber's Director of Student Access, Wellness, and Development, Meg Houghton, Take Back the Night means supporting victims of sexual violence in our college community.
Representing a choir of voices who are done with sexual violence and committed to ending it in our community.
Humber's Take Back the Night march kicked off around 6:30 with guest speaker and the college's LGBTQ resource coordinator, Natalie Alicia.
I think that creating this kind of space for survivors has the potential to be transformative.
Starting at the LRC, students marched towards the athletic center and around the back of the school.
Over 100 men and women are gathered here at Humber College's North Campus to support the Take Back the Night initiative. An initiative aimed at ending sexual violence on college campuses. I'm Robert Williamson for Humber News.
Waiting in line for coffee is an annoying frustration for a lot of us, but butting in line is not acceptable. Now there's an app for that. We get details from Leah Richardson.
It's not called the Boost app for no reason. Boost your way to the front of the line. The Boost app is popping up everywhere around Humber. It's a free downloadable app that lets people skip the lines. With the app, you are able to order ahead of time. From there, you are able to go straight to the pickup line. One student says this is a good thing.
We're running around. Sometimes we have a couple of minutes in between and we're hungry, so we can just pay for it, pick it up, and then go.
It's currently available for Tim Hortons and Starbucks. The app is available on iOS and Android devices where students can set up an account.
I think it's smart since we have so much technology and stuff. It just makes it easier because you have it right from your hand.
Long lines often flood the floors of Humber, but with the Boost app, you can avoid them. Get your coffee quicker by downloading the app.
That was Leah Richardson reporting from the Starbucks in the LRC. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Brittany Billette will have your 3-day forecast.
We have plenty of wind and possible showers in today's forecast. I'll have more of your weather details coming up after the break.
We're going to take a short break, but first, why enjoy a relaxing hot air balloon ride when you can jump out and plummet 1,500 meters to the ground? The Red Bull Skydive team members jumped from their perfectly functional hot air balloon swoop to another. The 4 divers started Project Mega Swing to set the record for the world's largest swing. After a casual 125-meter ride, the divers flung off the contraption and safely parachuted to the ground.